We're going to go ahead and begin the regular council meeting Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018, 7:30 p.m. Twinsburg Government Center Council Chambers. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Sauter?
Here.
Mr. Steele? Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Ms. McPherson? Here. Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Bowen?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Please lead us, or please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Almighty and eternal God, you know the longings of men's hearts and you protect their rights. In your goodness, watch over those in authority so that people everywhere may enjoy freedom, security, and peace. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll begin with the approval of minutes from October 9th, 2018. Are there any changes? Okay.
No.
Okay, then the minutes will stand as written. We do not have any awards or presentations. How about audience participation?
Yes, we do. First, we have Bob Hughes.
Good evening, Bob Thews, 2229 Demi Drive in the Meadowwood plan. November 6th is coming up. Just want to remind everybody it's a very, very important date. It's a very, very important election. A lot of things are happening in this country, and the ballot that we have reflects everything from the top of the state all the way down to local issues. So it's just an important, I think, a very, very important election, and I hope that we encourage everybody to get out and vote Tuesday the 6th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great message. Thank you.
Next, we have Patrick Jeffers.
Good evening. I'm with the Environmental Commission, and I just wanted to come and give a quick report and thank you for all of our volunteers that participated in the community cleanup that we held on October 13th. We had donations from Twinsburg Township and from Starbucks for food and beverages. And thank you to the Oddfellows and the Widow's Sons who provided their time to help grill all the food for the volunteers. Kate Chappell, Tinkers Creek Watershed Partners, helped provide a lot of the logistics. Erica Miglitz with Mold-Right Plastics organized about 20 volunteers from Mold-Right to help clean up on Highland down by the cemetery, which was a great help. Also, thank you to Derek Schroeder and Ryan Kennedy in Parks and Rec for their assistance in procuring items and putting together the signage. Chris Campbell and Kenny Tchaikovsky at Public Works, and of course all their crew for helping pick up all the garbage that we accumulated, and to the environmental commissioners for helping put it on, and all our volunteers. We had a number of high school students that came out to get volunteer service hours, as well as a number of residents that showed up to help on the day. Also, thank you to Mayor Yates and Councilman Barr and Scafidi for showing up and providing some support. We cleaned up about 30 bags of trash, a TV, 2 pallets, and a car bumper, all of which came from Chamberlain Road near the 480 overpass, also Chamberlain Road from Highland to State Route 82, also Creekside Drive, Highland Road near the cemetery, Glen Meadow Park, and some of the parking areas around Parks and Rec. So thank you all for your support of the Environmental Commission, and thank you to all of our volunteers that showed up that day.
Thank you. Thanks for your time as well.
Next, we have Sue Clark.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
I wanted to let you guys know since I was
Sue, could you just say your
98.
address?
Yep, I forgot. Sue Clark, 9845 Crestwood Drive, Twinsburg, Ohio.
Thank you.
Since our last meeting, I wanted to let you guys know I did meet with Nick from Senator Joyce's office. We had a great talk. There is a bill, the H.R. 6, that is already on the president's desk, hopefully getting ready to be signed, with some new legislation on people running sober homes. However, in between the last meeting, I was asked about dispensing, so I wanted to make sure that I had that correct and how the federal guidelines go ahead and describe that. In the dictionary, dispensing is described as of machine or container able to supply or release product or cash, authorized or qualified to make up or give out medicine, dispense, allocate, deal out, distribute, dole out, hand out, parcel out, or proportion. The federal guidelines, though, under federal law for dispensing, they go into dispensing and administrating under the same. So administrating is to give someone medication by putting it into their body via needle, orally, however you have to do it. Prescribing a prescription of medication for someone is done usually by a doctor. Dispensing and giving of medication is putting it in their possession, done by a pharmacist or a licensed professional. So therefore, I'm going back to my original statement that it is dispensing. However, that being said, that because the HERS still have it up on their website, I still think we need to define that and have somebody recant that. That 17-page legal document, people are still taking that as valid when you cannot dispense narcotics. The sober home, I agree under that R4 in what he says. It's the dispensing. So I don't know who's going to define that, recant it, rewrite it, but I guess I need some kind of guidance. I know I can't ask that question here, but if somebody could get back to me as to where I go next, because the residents want to pay Mr. Hunt to do that if we can't resolve that. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there, and thank you guys for your time.
Thank you,
Thank
Sue.
you, Sue.
Thanks.
And last we have Daisy Walker.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Maestros, council, and staff. Daisy Walker. Well, I don't have to say who I am. Anyway, this is a thank you for Mayor Yates, and I write things down because if I don't, then I'll have to go over 5 minutes, so I have to read what I wrote, so I'll get to 5 minutes. And it's thank you, Mayor Yates, for taking the time on Friday, October 19th, to share the history and showcase the opening and ribbon cutting ceremony of the Glen Eagles Golf Club and Events and Aaron and Moses restaurants. The staff and employees at the golf club and restaurant were passionate, welcoming, and friendly. I cannot thank you enough for the generosity of your time, which you shared with all of us who attended, and also thanks for the superb appetizers. You know, I know you're really busy, and it's just nice to see that you have a mayor to go out of his way to do something spectacular for all the residents, all the mayors that were there. I even saw Dave Joyce, he was there, congressmen, and it was really nice. So I thank you for sharing all of what you're doing with us. And secondly, I hope everyone received a cup. And when Kate Chappell told me that she was giving out cups, I said, you know, I have to give council and the mayor and his staff a cup, so save me some. So she did. And the wonderful thing I like about it is Kate gave me a little write-up, and it says, enjoy these mugs and learn how to salt properly to avoid slips and help the environment too. And it says, one of these 12-ounce coffee cups full of salt is enough to cover about 10 sidewalk squares. And it's so interesting because I didn't know that. And it says salt only belongs on your sidewalk and your driveway and never on your lawn. 1 teaspoon of salt permanently pollutes 5 gallons of water. And lastly, salt works best when it's applied before the snow falls or right after snow is removed from your sidewalk or driveway. Never apply salt when rain is in the forecast. It will just wash away into the storm drains and out to our waterways. So not only is this cup educational, but every time we use it, we'll think about, okay, just a cup full of salt, and that's 10 blocks of sidewalk. So I hope this cup is so helpful for all of you, and even me, because I have one, because I'm learning something every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Daisy.
Daisy. Thanks for the cups. Is there any more?
That is it.
Then we will go ahead and move on to council communication and committee reports. Mr. Scafidi.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met earlier this evening, and we had a kind of a lengthy meeting. We had the department heads in going over their capital and operating budgets. We had about 5 departments in, I believe, this evening. We did the other departments 4 weeks ago at the last Finance Committee meeting. So, and that was a very good meeting as well. We went over some new budgets, the banquet facility and the golf course now, the clubhouse with the new clubhouse. So we all got a little lesson in what we're going to be looking for in the future as far as budgets go for that facility and for everything up there at Glen Eagles. After that, we did take a vote. The Finance Committee voted to recommend all the capital improvements to the rest of council. So that was a 3-0 vote. We also recommended the 2019 appropriations. That came from the Finance Committee, and that is a recommendation to council as well to go forward. Again, it was like an hour-and-a-half meeting, so we really didn't get to finish our agenda, and so we'll finish that at the next meeting. The next Finance Committee meeting will be on November 27th at 6 o'clock right here in the council chambers. The Board of Zoning Appeals will meet tomorrow night, the 24th, at 6:30 right here in council chambers. And that's it for my committees. I do have one request I need to ask of the mayor. I need some help with. 2 weeks ago, I talked about this resident on Moreland Drive, and I've been dealing with this for at least 2 months, and I'm getting nowhere at all. It's the one with the vacant lot. He lives in the cul-de-sac. There's a vacant lot next door. It's got trees that he's afraid are going to fall onto his property. They're dead trees. He's got tree lawn there that is not being maintained by anyone. He's got growth coming off of this lot that's going over the sidewalk. Mayor, I showed you the pictures. Mr. Rodick was here. I tried to explain to him. I kindly asked him if he would get the city contractor to go out there and cut that lawn and cut back that overgrowth so the sidewalk is exposed. 2 weeks later, nothing's changed. The resident is really getting frustrated with paying his landscaper to cut that grass, and he did it again. He continues to pay for it, and I think that we at least owe him the money for that. If we're not going to take care of it and bill our contract and pay our contractor and then put it on that tax duplicate, then we need to reimburse this resident for what he's paying to maintain that lawn. And I think it would be much easier for us to do, as we do with any other property that's delinquent in cutting their grass, would be to go ahead and have our contractor do it, take care of it, and then we can get our money back through the taxes. Also, I would like to have somebody look at the trees. He's trying to track down the owner, and truthfully, it's really not his responsibility. I think that our building department could help in that situation and try to track down this owner. And, if we disagree with him that the trees are not hazardous and we're not going to track down the owner, well, then tell him so. Just tell him, what, all your concerns are unfounded and we're not going to do anything for you. But I think we need to get to that point because, again, 2 months I've been dealing with this. It's time to put it to rest.
All right, I'll follow up on it.
I'm done with it. So, please help me out with that, because I'm not getting anywhere. Okay, thank you. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Okay. I attended the Finance Committee meeting tonight, and my Planning Commission has not met. We do have a meeting, well, it's on the schedule for Monday, November 5th. I'm not sure if there's any items on the agenda or not. Larry's not here anymore. That's all I have. Ms. McFerrin?
I also attended the finance meeting this evening. Parks and Rec, the next meeting will be this Thursday here. And I see we do have a safety committee meeting scheduled for November 13th at 6 p.m. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Bellin.
Good evening. I also attended this evening's Finance Committee meeting. I'd like to echo Ms. Walker's sentiment about the ribbon cutting. It was an outstanding event. I'm very excited for all of our residents to experience the restaurant, the banquet center, and the pro shop. The next Golf Advisory Board meeting will be on Tuesday, November 27th, at 6:30 p.m. right here in Council Chambers. None of my other committees have met. I have nothing further this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Barr.
Like my peers, I was at the Finance Committee meeting this evening. Our next meeting, again, I believe Mr. Scafidi mentioned, is the 27th at 6 p.m. In Council Chambers. It's November 27th. The Environmental Commission had their community cleanup day. Mr. Jeffers did a great job kind of giving us a report to save me from having to do it. But I do want to thank him specifically. He basically spearheaded this one and picked up the ball and ran with it. So Patrick, thank you so much for your time and commitment and dedication to the cause. That's truly appreciated. I'm sure not only by you, but everybody up here as well as your neighbors in Twinsburg. So it was just great. We had a little smaller turnout than we've had in the past, but I don't think it helped that it was like 38 wet. So nothing we can do about that. We're on a little winter break. The Environmental Commission does not meet until 2019. And I believe Ms. McPhair mentioned the next Safety Committee meeting is the 13th of November at 6 p.m. Here in Council Chambers. And that is all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Barr.
Yeah, sorry, I had a correction here. The Golf Advisory Board meeting will be Monday, November 26th at 6:30 p.m., not Tuesday. Apologies.
Thank you. Mayor?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Just follow up with the Finance Committee. I was also in attendance, and just so that residents know, I know Mr. Safidi said that the capital budget was voted on and approved unanimously, which it was. However, I just wanted to share that that budget started off with the request of around $3.5 million, and through department head work and our finance director's work, the final budget was around $1.2 million. So a lot of work went into getting to that final capital budget. Things are much slimmer than they have been in the past, but thank council for, again, working through that. We've had a couple department head meetings and reports in finance, and you know, I think we're all moving toward in the right direction with that. So I just wanted to share that. But moving on, the ribbon cutting. Thanks, Daisy. While I was there in attendance, there was a lot of work behind the scenes with people, with Abby and Sarah, and Derek helped. Morgan sent out invitations. So there was a lot of people behind the scenes that really made that event happen. Fortunate to be able to work with a lot of people that really take pride in some of the events that we put on here, and you know, that's been a long project. Hopefully it was celebrated in the right way, and will be a continuous celebration as we move forward. A couple of things that went on. We had our fire open house, which was again just a packed event. I didn't know that many little kids lived in Twinsburg, but it's fun. The fire department does a great job. They get tons of support from UH, Cleveland Clinic. There's other local businesses that help contribute to that, so it was a fun time. And again, thanks Daisy and Patrick for all the work that you guys did on the cleanup. You know, it's something that I hope we can continue to keep doing and just find a way to build it. I know that first year we did it, it was a beautiful day. We had tons of people show up. We just need to find a way to get that back. But I think we will. You got a great group working with you. We get this question every year. It's the same answer every single year. Halloween will be on Halloween. It's never going to change. We tried to change it one year, but a storm came through and it was a disaster. So, yeah, I don't care what comes through weather-wise, we're having it on Halloween, 6 to 8. So, be prepared for that. Election Day is coming up, November 6th. So I just encourage everyone to show up and vote. There's a lot going on, as was shared earlier. There's a lot on the ballot, a lot that really impacts us at a bunch of different levels. We've got some charter amendments that are out there. I know there's been a lot of discussion about those. We had a great charter review commission that spent a lot of time and a lot of effort really going through and making some suggestions. I'd encourage you, if you have any questions on those, reach out to council, reach out to my office, reach out to our law director. The Board of Elections actually helped drafted the language, so it may not have been the best way to group a lot of them, but again, it's what we're dealing with. But don't discount the work that the Charter Review Commission did in trying to keep our charter updated and aligned with whether it's other municipalities or just being progressive. So I think that was what their intent was. So, but if you have any questions on those, please feel free to reach out to any of us. I met with a business, and this has to do a little bit with Environmental Commission, called Mold Right. This is a company in Twinsburg that it's cool to highlight. I think they make basically flip-top plastic lids. So every spice that you use, every product from GNC, anything that has a flip-top lid that can pour something out of it comes from Twinsburg here. So it was really cool meeting with them. We didn't meet with them to learn that, but it was nice. We kind of parlayed a charitable act that they want to do into a full economic development workshop, and they need more space and more people, and we're going to try to help them do that. But they've asked if they could adopt a part of Highland Road. It impacts their business. It's one of our most challenging areas when it comes to trash in different areas. I think it was where we found the tire and the bumper and that kind of stuff. But so there's, from their business all the way up to 91, they'd like to adopt. So we're going to work with them on kind of an agreement for that, maybe get them some signage that, this road's been adopted by them. But more excitingly, we're going to try to work with them on adding space and adding jobs to their facility. So thanks, Daisy, for starting that. It was a great meeting with them, and look forward to working with them on both aspects. And then lastly, I got approached by the mayor of Macedonia today. It was an urgent phone call, and I wasn't sure why it was quite so urgent, but I tracked him down. And this weekend, if you don't know, Twinsburg plays Nordonia. On paper, Nordonia should do pretty well. However, we beat Hudson last week. So he wanted to bet me on the football game, and the losing mayor has to wear the opposite team jersey for a day. So I couldn't say no, so I need to get that message out to our football team, not to embarrass me. It's already, you're going to see it on social media. I just got a text with an actual news article link talking about this bet. So hopefully Twinsburg plays the way they did last week, and I don't have to put up that god-awful green jersey and wear it for a day. So that's all I have. We'll move into some department head reports. Abby, you want to start, since this is your first night of reporting?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I just wanted to echo everyone to say thank you so much for coming to the ribbon cutting. And I especially want to take this time to thank the staff at the clubhouse, restaurant, Sarah, Chef Will, Mike, all of the restaurant staff, banquet, everyone who has really all just rallied together the past 2 months. Council service, mayor's office, everyone has just kind of been such a big part of this golf course and opening this banquet center, whether you're directly affiliated with it or not. So I just wanted to take this time to say thank you. It's been a crazy 2 months. So tomorrow we will officially be opened a month. So we are starting to get in a routine, staff starting to get into a routine, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. So we're really excited to move along with this process, and we really couldn't have done it without everyone's support and the community that has come out and the residents and saying such nice things, especially on social media. We see that and we appreciate that, and just all of the kind words that we've gotten from around the community. So as far as banquet, we are busy. So banquet started doing stuff at the beginning of August. So throughout, to date, we hosted it was about 20 events that we hosted to date. So everything from golf outings to birthday parties to business meetings. wrapping up the rest of the year, I don't have a Saturday off, so that's pretty good. So we will be hosting our first wedding next weekend. So very exciting for that, along with company holiday parties, employee holiday parties, business meetings. So we're staying busy throughout the week. Going into next year, we have already 17 events booked. So that's weddings, golf outings, birthday parties, baby and wedding showers are big in the wintertime. I had a call, so I do have bookings into 2020. I got a call for a booking inquiry in 2021, and I thought there's no way possible this could go out any further until we held a Jewish ceremony on Sunday, and I now have bookings into 2025. So we're definitely staying busy. So bar mitzvahs, weddings, anything you can think of for a reason to throw an event. And that brings me to one point I just wanted to kind of say, I know it's very exciting when the room is done up and it's beautiful and it's nice and people are coming in and out of it and are seeing. One of the things that I have noticed and my clients have noticed is that people are just walking in the room to see the space, to see it, and I know it's very exciting. So all I just ask is that people who are coming to the restaurant, if you do see an event happening, anytime that there's not an event happening, you are more than welcome to look into that room and do a tour and walk through the kitchen. But when we do have events, private events going on, we got to try to remember that that's a private event. So other than that, again, just wanted to say thank you for all of the support, and we're excited for the future and all of the great things we have planned and going on. So, thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you. Well done for your first report. All right. Derek, you want to jump up? I didn't announce any of your events.
That was
the first.
That was the first. And actually, all I'm going to do is announce upcoming events, because my team, from a couple weeks ago to the end of the year, it's pretty much something going on every week. And they're probably one of our most popular set of events. So this Sunday is Truck or Treat at the Fitness Center from 2 to 4. It's always a big one. The helicopter is going to be landing this year, fire trucks, garbage trucks, things like that, and you can go trick-or-treating to them. After that, we have Turkey Trot, our 5-mile race. That'll be on November 10th. Then as we get further on, it's Luminosity, so we have Louis Light Exchange, which is kind of our charity give-back event. We're partnering with Ryan King State Farm Agency here in town to do that on the 21st of November, where you turn in a toy and you get a light wand that you can bring to Luminosity, which is on November 24th. So that'll be the lighting starting here and ending up at the square. Light the Night is our Hanukkah event. Hanukkah's early this year, so that'll be on December 5th. At the community center. Winter Wonderland, actually, sorry, I had to order there. Winter Wonderland is the weekend before that. It's 12/2, so December 2nd at the fitness center, where you can get your pictures with Santa and all the inflatables and stuff going on with that. Breakfast with Santa is on December 8th. And then we're doing a soccer camp with the Columbus crew on December 28th at the fitness center. So we have a lot going on. It is a busy time of year, and all the information for winter break camp too, for anyone looking for kids, mostly 1st through 6th grade, at the fitness center. Swimming, field trips, that sort of thing will be registration. I think it's in a couple of weeks, but it'll all be pretty much every day you're off from school except for the holidays over Christmas break. And I do want to thank the Environmental Commission, even though it's not one of my commissions. It does help my department a lot, so Parks and Rec, it's nice to have them out there helping and doing stuff in the parks for our department. I do want to echo the comment on voting. It's a big year, so I hope people get out and vote. If there's any questions. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Colette?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
HR-wise, we are ongoing our negotiations with the AFSCME. We've been mostly meeting with the service group, but this Wednesday we'll be starting with the office group, so those are going well. Last week, our Healthcare Cost Containment Committee met with our healthcare brokers, and we got an update on our claims cost, and we are trending very well, so we're hoping for a favorable renewal next year. if that trend continues. Obviously, the HSA plan does a little bit better than the PPO plan, but we're on a good track right now. Been still busy with staffing out at the restaurant. We still do need part-time cooks, dishwashers, and facilities attendants. So if you know anybody, those jobs are posted on the website. And then I just personally been working a lot the last few weeks on getting we have about 18 forms that our new hire employees, our new employees have to complete. So, and we have this new onboarding program that I've explained to you guys previously. So, but now they're going to make all those forms into fillable forms that the applicant, once we send them the email that says, the offer of employment, they'll be filling these forms out electronically and then just hitting submit, and it'll be a wonderful thing. But we have to, they're going to make all these forms into fillable forms. So before they did that, we had to kind of update all the forms because some of them still had the old Twinsburg heads on them, and some of them still had just old language and stuff. So I had to look at all the forms. We finally got that completed, and that was sent in. So hopefully we'll be rolling that out within the next couple of weeks or so. Civil service-wise, Civil Service Commission met on the 11th. They did finalize the date for the upcoming police entrance exam. That's going to be on Sunday, January 27th, so we will be posting that. And then the next meeting for the Civil Service Commission is November 8th. IT-wise, they've just been busy with a little bit of everything, and one of their current projects is to update all our antivirus programs. The program that we're currently using, the company was bought out by another company, so they're not going to support that software as much. So we're moving to a new product, both for the antivirus and the firewalls. And that's it.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colette.
Maybe?
I need 5 minutes up.
I got a drum roll or something. Good evening, Council. Just a quick update on different things that we've been doing over the last month or so. Ravenna Road here is paved out. You still will see a couple curb ramps that still aren't quite ADA compatible. They'll be working on. State Route 91 made the traffic shift earlier this month. They've excavated most of the north half, started base in there, working on storm sewers on Ethan's, and continuing through that. We're hoping that you'll maybe by the end, by Thanksgiving, start seeing some curb work going up if weather holds and they keep moving along like they're moving. Last meeting I was here for budget, and we talked about the FEMA program. We had the kickoff for the grant we received with a member from FEMA. When he was here, he indicated that the state would be getting an extra $20 million for hazard mitigation grant program funding, and that's as a result of a flooding that occurred in declaring a disaster or emergency area in the state of Ohio. So funds typically go out to the state and are used for that. Those have matching requirements of only 12.5%. So his question was if the city might be interested in applying for any more of the similar projects of what we've been doing. And that would be probably due at the beginning of next year in 2019, and would actually have to be budgeted for in the 2020 budget if we wanted to move forward. So something to think about. Don't need an answer now, but just wanted to make everybody aware that that was available. Working with Summit County engineers on an agreement to do the paving on Chamberlain Road next year. Hopefully we'll have legislation at the end of next month for that agreement. That'll be resurfaced. We did get some outside grant funding through economic development and Mr. Finch. Met with Chagrin Valley engineers on the Ravenna-Richmond Road Shepherd intersection up there, Broadway. They're getting closer to finalizing those plans. I gave them some comments back. They're now looking at the right-of-way impacts associated with that to get back to us, and we'll be looking at different funding mechanisms in 2019 to fund that project, and that's between 4 communities. We've been working with the utility companies on State Route 91 between Richner and Tinkers. There's still some movement with Windstream out there that we'll have to do some work before we actually start our project. We're looking at bidding that project. It's a sanitary sewer replacement project. awarding it early in January or February so we can get out there as soon as the snow breaks to do that work. We've also been finalizing a lot of our projects, starting to get quantities and estimates on next year's programs. We spent a lot of time the last couple months with our NPDS program, which is National Pollution Discharge. One of those program elements is post-construction best management practices and maintenance of those. So anytime a developer comes in, they have to do something to control their stormwater, to help the quality of that stormwater. Then they're required to, in perpetuity, maintain that system so it functions. We started a number of years ago a program where they signed an agreement with us. We've updated, through the help of Lynn Muter from the planning, that agreement, and have now put that agreement and a whole bunch of checklists on our website under the engineering department under stormwater management. We have to track down when property changes, track down who's the owner and tell them what, re-educate them on, you have this on your property. So we're now going to require those to be recorded at the Summit County's office. So when property transfers, hopefully there's a little more knowledge that's being passed along, so we're not spending a lot of time trying to track down people. We have a pretty good success rate. We're probably 90% compliant with reporting, so that's good there. And then as far as subdivision work that's out there that we monitor, the construction on Quarry Reserve is going along real well. They're doing the underground utilities, sanitary sewer is about complete, should be working on the water line and storm, and they anticipate paving by the end of November. Whispering Woods Phase 3 has legislation on tonight for their grant agreement, and they'll be, again, in November starting their underground utilities. Cornerstone, we actually, as part of the O'Reilly project and the spec building out there, had to relocate the cul-de-sac. So they still have the pavement work to do out there. Hopefully we can get that buttoned up before the holidays as well, and the paving season's out. And Shepherd Preserve now is available for building permits, and we've been working on some different maintenance bond punch list, stormwater detention basin conversions in Corbett's Farm. So we're next spring we'll be out there just double checking all the pavement and get them off maintenance bond associated with that. So it's we've been kind of busy, and now you're informed. Any questions?
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Amy, I did have a resident ask me, have we ever, and I can't remember, but from downtown Twinsburg to the Cleveland Clinic, have we ever looked into putting a sidewalk along that route there?
The clinic put a portion of sidewalk up to the area. We have not looked at a sidewalk. We did widen shoulders for bicycles, getting underneath the underpass there when we did the work under the underpass to try and give them a better berm area. The problem is you go from the berm area under the bridge, you go completely at 2-to-1 slopes with embankment. So getting it under the bridge is your challenge, your big challenge point, and if you can't connect under the bridge with the walks, we haven't really looked at heading walks. There's not many walks in the commercial area anywhere. I think we did some on Summit Commerce Parkway years ago as a joint private-public partnership where they bought materials and our service department did some forming and placing of concrete sidewalks. But no, nothing on 91 at this point.
Oh, good. Something I'd like to try to think about. I see people walking up to that clinic. It just seems dangerous, so I don't know if we get into any safety type of...
Well, we can put it on the agenda for the next safety meeting in November.
You guys could add that. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
Sarah?
Good evening. Thank you all for coming to Finance tonight. I know it's a lot to get through that budget, and I appreciate your patience as we work through it. Our October income tax receipts were $1.9 million, so we're down a little under $300,000 for the month from last year. We got some big payments in at the beginning of the year. If you remember, we were pretty far up, so at the end of the year, there's some big payments we didn't get. So that's where we're at. But for the year, we're still up. We're at 19.5, where last year we were at 19.1, so we're still up 2.25% almost for the year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we have.
That's all we have. Okay, then we'll move on to legislation. First, we have ordinance 101, 2018.
An ordinance amending the current year appropriations for the general revenue account as established in Ordinance 101, 2017, the appropriation ordinance for the City of Twinsburg for the year 2018.
Okay, that's the second reading. Next, we have ordinance 102, 2018.
An ordinance amending the current year appropriations for the general revenue account as established in Ordinance 101, 2017, the appropriation ordinance for the City of Twinsburg for the year 2018.
That is also on its second reading. Next, we have ordinance 105, 2018.
An ordinance accepting the final subdivision plat and R5 site plan for Whispering Woods subdivision Phase 3 as presented and reviewed by the Planning Commission.
That's the first reading. Next, we have resolution 106, 2018.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a professional service contract for the provision of prosecutorial services for the City of Twinsburg.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 106, 2018. Is there a second?
Second.
Should we have had discussion first? I apologize.
No,
Okay, we're fine. Oh, we can do discussion now? Any discussion?
No, this is something that I think Mr. Maestros and I have had long discussions about. It's a contract that has just remained at the same rate for a number of years and is very much lower than a lot of the municipalities. So we're just looking for a slight increase for a prosecutor, and I think Mr. Maestros probably share a little bit more.
Yeah, I just think, Mr. Benny's doing a terrific job down there. Our caseload has been pretty consistent over the last 5 years, and we haven't really visited this at all since 2013 when he was first brought on. So talked to the mayor through the budget process. We have these funds in there budgeted for, and we won't need appropriations amendment if council passes this. So I would certainly recommend it.
Thank you. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Resolution 106, 2018 passes by 5-0 vote. Okay, next we have resolution 107, 2018.
A resolution authorizing the finance director to enter into commercial card agreement with Huntington National Bank.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 107, 2018. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, made the motion. It was seconded by Ms. McFerrin. Any discussion? Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Resolution 107, 2018 passes by a 5-0 vote. Next, we'll move on to unfinished business, new business, and miscellaneous. Mr. Barr, would you like to begin?
Sure. I only have one thing this evening. I just want to congratulate our ladies soccer team. They just had a phenomenal season. I believe they're 18-0. They are scheduled to play Hudson this coming Thursday at Solon Stadium. I believe it's the divisional playoff game. The game starts at 7:30. They could really use your support. Again, it's just a terrific group of young women, and what they've been able to accomplish this season is truly impressive, and I wish them the best of luck on Thursday.
Thank you. Mr. Bellin?
And you stole my thunder. Almost word for word. Yeah, so in lieu of that, I would just like to remind everybody to be careful on Halloween, on Wednesday evening. There's a lot of kids out and about, so just if you're out driving, please be careful. Also, I'd like to echo Mr. Thews and Derek's sentiments earlier about Election Day. It is it's very important. Please make it a point to go out and vote. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McFerrin?
Well, being third, so I was just going to wish everybody a happy and safe Halloween. Also remind everyone to vote and not to hesitate to call any of us or the mayor's office if you have any questions on what's on the ballot. It was a great ribbon cutting, and I just wanted to put in a plug for anyone having holiday parties to think of the clubhouse.
Thank
That's all
you.
I have.
Mr. Scafidi?
I have nothing further tonight. Thank you.
I have nothing further, but at this time I would like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Steele and Mr. Fury from tonight's meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
That's all right.
I don't know how I forgot you.
You guys
Do you
covered,
have anything?
you guys covered about everything.
No.
I was at actually the girls soccer game last night, and it's exciting to see them advance. And I know they were watching the score of the Walsh-Hudson game, and that was a big upset for Hudson. So it's going to be an exciting game on Thursday. So hopefully everyone can make it out.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Maestroms.
Nothing further, thank you.
Shannon?
I had the pleasure of serving lunch today at the VFW, and just kind of wanted to give a shout out to the VFW members. They host veterans from Wade Park twice a year and serve them lunch, and it's a nice little outing for them to be able to get away from Wade Park and come out and visit and just be with their other veterans, and it was really nice to be there. The mayor was there with me and some of the other Rotarians.
Where was that?
It was at the VFW post. Yep.
And I want to thank Shannon's mom for cooking everything. So yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Now, I suppose I'll make a motion. Okay. I would like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Steele and Mr. Fury from tonight's meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Bellin. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mrs. Stoffer?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Ms. McFerrin?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. And I guess now with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 8:17. Yeah, we adjourn.